So today I'm going to talk about how to construct sentences, right? So we look at other day, Sydney Morning Herald article I sent last one. So I'm going to look at that one, right? So that's sort of I'll go one by one. So how many words you listed from this article that the new words start from Tanashalniyama? How many words?
3, sir.
Sorry?
3 words.
Right. Okay, that's good. Only 3 words. Rest, the meaning, yeah?
Yes, sir.
So just tell me all 3 words.
Elaborate, ascertain, and instill.
Instinct?
I think instill or...
instill. Okay, yeah. Right. So, Sajindanama, do you have any new words you picked up from this?
6 words I have. Predict. Fire breaking. Fire. Yes, sir, predict.
Predict, okay, yeah. So 3 words. So what's the third word?
Fire breaking.
Fire breaking, okay. Sorry, ma?
Region, sir.
Oh, okay. All right. Santos?
Yes, sir.
How many new words do you picked up from this article?
It was only one, sir.
What is it?
Ascertain.
Ascertain, okay. Right. Anyway, I'm going to ask you questions, right? Because I thought sort of you may not know the meaning of these words, right? Because again, that even some, right, say credit, right? So that meaning is there. There may be 5 different meanings, and depending on the sentence where you use, right? So you've got to understand sort of credit is, it could be your results, right? Credit means see, okay? But this one, so in this, that is noun. Here it is verb. So different meaning, okay? I'm going to ask you in this situation, what is your interpretation or what your understanding of that, the verb, right? So here this is verb because you can say have credited ed, right? So I highlighted in yellow, so I'm going to ask you. So what's that? What's the meaning? So start from Sajindanam.
The meaning of credited?
Yeah, meaning of here it says French emergency services have credited. So what is in this? Because every sentence when you use the verb, so there is a meaning, right? So my question is, in this sentence, the credit, what's the meaning in this sentence?
To get someone or something proud. To get proud.
Have credited a 7-year-old boy with saving his life. So what is that? Okay. Tanishalniyamma.
Yes, sir.
So same question I'm asking. What your understanding of and the the have credited?
It means like prize someone.
Price, right? Price, P-R-A-I-S-E, price. Yeah. Okay. That's good. Basically, the 7-year-old boy, he did some good thing. So they have services accredited as sort of, priced him, right? Okay. The next one is calmly. Okay, right? Santos, he calmly called a national helpline. So in this situation, what's the meaning of calmly?
Without panicking, sir.
Without panicking, good boy. The next one is responder. Sajindanama, what's your understanding in this?
To answer something.
First responder. Okay, responder, right. So first responder is the sort of the person who answer the call or something. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so next one is apartment.
A place where a lot of people live together.
But normally the definition is apartment is like a house. House is sort of, like apartment is, it's a sort of a number of, in a big building, there would be apartments, 3 or 4 apartments together, built together apartment. So in Australia, we call it unit, U-N-I-T, unit. So in American English, they call apartment. And Canada, they call condo, right? So the next one is Santos, lying.
It's a position of someone similar to sleeping, sir.
Lying basically on the floor, right? Lying. That's it's almost like sleeping, but lying is sort of you are lie down mean you just relax on a sort of bed on the floor, right? It's pretty much sort of horizontal lying. Say this on her back. That means sort of she's on her back. What's the meaning of Sajendanama? What's the meaning of on her back?
From the back side.
Not from the back, on her back. It says on her back.
No, sir. I tell like lying from the back.
Yeah, on her back, back வந்து ஃப்ளோர்ல டச் பண்ணி கொண்டிருக்கிறத on her back. On her tummy and tummy touch பண்ணி கொண்டிருக்கிறது. அப்ப அந்த இது, so why I'm sort of talking about it, because I'm going to ask you to do the exercise later on. Like, you got to know these sort of words, right? Someone is on her back, on her tummy, on the side, the side on her side, right? So these things are commonly used, and you're going to use them in your, topic or write-ups, yeah? Okay, the next one is, other one is, she is on her front. It's a house, she is on her front. Alla meaning in the mouth. Kanashalniyamma?
So like she's laying on her front.
No, that's already said sort of on her back. So how can you say that on her front again? She is almost sort of, she is unconscious, right? So they say it is a house. She is on her front. வீட்டுல முன்னுக்கு இருக்கிற தனமும் on her front ன்னு சொல்றாங்க, right? So little boy answers all the question calmly, and in return 34 years. It is a house. She is on her front house because in fact she has managed to get up, right? Okay. So the operator then asked the boy to turn her over. Santos, what is the meaning turn her over?
Turn her over means like turning someone to face upwards, sir. Or opposite of
upwards?
The side they're facing.
You mean pushing upwards?
No, sir. Turning upwards.
No, because you listen to my question, right? Because it says turning her over you say turning upwards. So you had to answer the question, right? Not something else. Turn her over. What's the meaning? So she is lying on her back, yeah? Now, so because the operator was asking the boy to turn her over. So what is the meaning?
Like he should turn her to so that she would be lying on her front side, like that, sir?
No, turn her over mean, right? So basically you are rolling that person, right? So if you have flat, right? Flat, okay? That's a flat. So turning over is like this, right? Okay? So you can turn over again like this. So it's basically rolling the person, right? Because, so the next one is, you can, I think you can see further instruction to respond. So now, Sajindanam, what's the meaning? Respond.
Answer.
Now, in this sentence, you have to say, right? If she responds when he calls. In this sentence, what? Sorry?
React.
What's the verb? Oh, okay, respond, right? Okay, that's fine. So if she responds when he calls, okay. Instruct, Tersalnium.
Give directions.
Yeah. Instruction. The boy to speak loudly now. Okay. She's on her back. That's right. Feel if air is coming out of her nose. Right. Unconscious. Santos.
Unconscious. Feeling dizzy or that doesn't have a sense of oneself, sir.
Right, unconscious is basically, yeah. The person can't say or person can't probably feel it, but unconscious is person can't sort of, say anything around that person, unconscious, right? Tamilla sonla porna unarvata nilila nikran solluvaanga, right? No feeling, nothing, when you knock the person or tap the person, no response, right? That's called unconscious. Normally what happens, yeah, so if you are tired and, you're hungry, sometimes you become unconscious. And the next one is edited audio. Sajindanam, what's the meaning of edited audio?
The call audio, sir.
Yeah, but it says edited audio means? What do you edit mean? What's the edit mean?
The cut video.
Yeah, cut's a sort of, write one and then paste, and that's called edition, right? And this edited audio, because edited is adjective, audio is this, voice, okay? Edited audio. Conversation.
Talk between two people or more.
Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you. Congratulate. Santos.
Congratulate. Appreciate us or praise someone, sir.
Yeah, great. Thanks. Next one is essential. Sajindrama.
Important.
Yeah, very important information. Good. Elaborate. Kanishami.
Containing a lot of information.
Yeah, elaborate is sort of, more give both, say we call it details, information, elaborate, right? So if someone is telling you, if you fix this one, then you can ask somebody to elaborate. So give more details. Episode.
Situation or
Santos.
experience?
Sorry?
Situation or experience?
Yeah, experience, patient's episode, during that time, that person is experiencing different things like unconscious, then, vomiting, all this episode, the continuous sort of, continuous, I would say, the reaction to the illness, right? Patients in. Ascertain, Sanjindanam, ascertain.
Discover.
Sorry?
Discover.
No, ascertain, certain is noun. Here, ascertain is verb. So certain, you know the meaning of certain, right? What is the meaning of certain? Sajindanama. What's the meaning of certain?
I don't know, sir.
Yeah, certainly, I'm going to see you, means, and katam on the sandikira. That's certain, right? CERTAIN, certain. So that is noun, right? Okay. Sorry. Certain is sort of, I would say, adjective, certain. It is certain mean it is certain that is going to happen, right? So ascertain is verb. So it's same meaning. So information to ascertain the situation. So say this is what happened, that situation that happened. Information to ascertain the situation. Right? Because these are the things you're going to use in your work, and this is really good for, because when you study in physics or any other subject in English, so these are things you find almost every subject, right? Taylor, Taylor.
To follow.
He was able to tailor the instruction minimum. This thing, tailor is so put sort of in a say for example, so everything sort of he put everything in a sort of in a sense, like say. Because he is giving the instruction, he is doing the instruction, right? He was able to tailor the instruction to his age. That means in this sort of, he can take all the instruction clearly and concisely, and so tailor the instruction to his age. His age is sort of small age. He can tailor means take all the instruction, right? One by one, right? Sometimes people get, okay, this instruction is, say, for example, okay, turn over. And then, check this with the air is coming out of the nose. So that means sort of every step in a sort of, in the right sort of order. So tailor is basically taking everything in the right order. So he didn't, untailoring means sort of, you say, turnover, but he did checking the nose to sort of see whether air is coming out. So you confuse with that sort of things. But tailoring is sort of one after that, and that is a bit of continuity there, as well as some more relevant to that sort of instruction, right? Because if it is an emergency situation, you have to do the right thing step by step, and in the right order is important. Right. Okay. So you had to check and first then roll the person, then check the pressure, all these things. That's this. It's called order. If you change the order. Sometimes the patient might be killed, right? So that's a sort of real meaning of Taylor. So why I'm sort of emphasizing this one, sort of when you are making the sentence, these are the sort of words you have to use is to get that message across to the person opposite you or over the phone, Taylor. Because these are the words you're going to use, 100% you're going to use in your assignment, right? That's what I'm, keep telling. So if you want, you can, when you once finished, you write down all these things and put that, so that you can, tomorrow morning, you can go through again and remember. So that's the sort of practice you've got to have. Because once you've finished this class, if you forgot all these things, no, you're not going to do right. So because I'm spending more time on this, because I'm expecting you to use all these new words in your assignment, right? Like episode, essential, elaborate, tailor, ascertain, right? Because if you can use all these things in your notes, so really you will become number one. Number one. Don't forget you become number one. I can guarantee. So that's why. So when you, after the class, you can, if you have got time before you go to bed, just all write down all the meanings, what's said, and, remember, because you have to use it, right? Because that I'm going to give you that article, so assignment, asking you to, but I won't say use this word, but I'll expect you to use them because they are very structured, sort of, this is a real situation as well as this is a real article. When you see that, that's called Sydney Morning Herald. That's the Sydney Morning Herald is the sort of national newspaper here in Australia. So this is very standard, extremely well standard, the articles, right? So this English is first class English, right? So I'm teaching first class English, right? So the next one is concisely, clearly and concisely. Who is next?
I'm sir.
Right. Okay. Samples. What's the meaning? Here, in this situation, what's it? Yeah. Clearly and concisely. Yeah.
In a brief but comprehensive way, sir.
Right, comprehensively, yeah. So it's a sort of a concise one. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you have given, but probably, if other people, they don't understand comprehensively, then I can say concisely, sort of, it's when you say, for example, I went to buy yogurt, right? So that's a sort of a concisely sort of what I went to. So if you say I went shopping, you're not saying but when you say concisely, I went to buy yogurt. Or say I went to, I played with my friends and scored 50 runs. So that is concisely, you are giving exact information. If you say, I played cricket today, that's not concise. Yeah, so that's called concisely. So because especially emergency situation, you have to be very, you've got to give all the details, exact details. You can't just simply say, it could be, I think she is okay, I think that because they want to respond to that person's sort of, sickness. So, yeah. So you have to be very concise because you have to observe the person and give all the information and what you observe, right? Because the other person can't see the person, right? In this sort of, that house. So you have to give exercise so that they will even give the instruction, even they can talk to doctor. Doctor can, directly talk to you and give instruction, right? So that is why English is important if you are going to live in Australia or Canada, because most of the time you get that sort of, emergency, right? Then when you get emergency situations, you give, this is called, we normally call 000 and say sort of, my mom is, sick and she's not talking, her eyes are closed. This is concise. Eyes are closed. Her, she is shivering, she's shivering. So that's called concisely. That you have to give the facts so that they can process it. And, if they need help, they quickly contact doctor. So this is what happening, doctor. But what's the sort of, it's called first aid. First aid is that's the first thing they go do. So that could be done by emergency, say, ambulance, right? They sort of, reach them. Until such time that patient should be alive, right? So that they give instruction, the first aid instruction to do. So you have to give concise. The information should be concise, right? So the next one is, who is next? Sajindanama, instill. What's the meaning?
To put an idea in someone's mind on the way they behave.
That's very good. That's very good. Instill fear, right? So you should not put someone, the fear, that sort of fear, especially child. Mommy is going to die or something, that the child will get sort of upset and child can't do things, That's what they said. It was important not to instill fear in a child, caller, so that they could remain calm. What's the meaning? Remain, the whole thing. Remain calm.
Like not
okay,
being
calm.
nervous.
What's the meaning of calm?
Not being nervous or fear.
Not being unrest.
Nervous or fear.
Yeah, not being nervous. Yeah. Remain calm.
Not being or being, remain could be being.
No. Okay, I'll come back to you. Santos, remain calm. What's the meaning?
Staying calm, sir. Calm means not being nervous or feared.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, remain calm is sort of, staying calm is great. Great. Yeah, that's the meaning. Yeah. So you can remain calm continuously. You are right. Continuously, you are calm, right? So that is remain calm. So that this is the remain calm. Stay focused. These are the words you got to use in your thing always, because it's a very important, that verb, remain continuously. தொடர்ந்து அமைதியா இருக்கிறது, தொடர்ந்து இருக்கிறத சொல்றோம், remain calm. ஓகே, அதான் தமிழ், சரியான தமிழ். தொடர்ந்து. Okay, so now I'm going to look at the structure, right? Because structure is important. You have already done, one is placula and the other one is my father, something like that, and my mother, So they say this one, the first thing normally when you are talking about something, first thing is you have to give the, especially article, right? The short information about that, complete information about it. Then you give, that's called details information. Say that, right? Any sort of article you add that's a sort of, say if your father, yeah, my father is sort of, he was born 1977, aged, 45. So that's the sort of my father's. Then you add, she loves me or she takes me. So that's the sort of thing. Details information should come after. So that always the first one is the short description of that sort of thing, and then detailed information. Then if necessary, you give conclusion. Right? That's how the structure is. When you look at, so the French emergency is credited as a 7-year-old boy with saving his mother's life after calmly called a national helpline and performed first responders checks as instructed. So I'm going to ask you, sort of, you can tell me in English or Tamil the first paragraph meaning. Tanishalni, just give me sort of in your own words, sort of, the meaning.
So like there is a service, they prize a 7-year-old kid because he has saved his mom's life. He have called them for help, and the responder have responded him, and he instructed him. And the kid has followed all the instructions properly.
Yeah. So I just want to add to that thing, sort of, this kid, 7-year-old boy, as a first, here they said he's the first responder. As a first responder, followed all the instruction and did all the checks on his mom. Okay, mom? So that's a right. So the next paragraph is about this, where this happened. So I'm going to read it out, and Santos, you got to give me in your own words what's the meaning. Just I'm going to read first, right? Read it out. The boy from the area of Yvelines, a region west of Paris, which includes the city of Versailles, rank 18, the number of the fire brigade. Rank 18 is number of the fire. To report his mom had not woken up. Right? So, Santos, please, in your words.
It states about where's the boy from and what he did when his mother has not waken up.
Right. So you didn't, son, you didn't make a comment about the fire brigade? Because that is critical here, right? So the fire brigade, so boy from that region, in Paris, and called fire brigade and reported. Right. So here I just want you all to focus. See this. Just look. Tell me where is this past perfect is. Sajindanama. Where is the past perfect?
Not woken up to report. Not woken up.
But you had to give me the past perfect, Amma.
Yes, sir.
So not woken up is not past perfect, right? So you just give the past perfect. You're almost there, but So you say, okay, just give me an example, past perfect. Just, tell me past perfect with come. You tell me past perfect of come.
Came.
Came is past tense. Past perfect. Looks like you have forgotten all this, right? So tomorrow morning, get up early and you have to go through my past perfect, that explanation, right? Okay, right. I'll go to Tanshanliamma. So tell me the past perfect there. In that
His mom had not woken up.
Well, had not woken up, right? So the verb is wake, woken is past participle, had is, right? When you put had and the past plus past participle, that is called past perfect, right? So here what they're saying is to report his mom had not woken up. That means that happened before this is before this incident, right? That is mean sort of, she, when you look at sort of, everything they're talking about, calling the excuse me, that's a situation I'm sort of explaining, right? Past perfect, when you use it, when you use it, that means, so you have to use it before something, right? Because that's the past, right? Then whatever happened before that, normally we use it. So they are talking about that person, that boy, right? Boy is doing all these things. But before that, the mom is already, she is lying, right? So she had not woken up. So that's why you had to use past perfect. So why I'm sort of, because focusing on this, because these are things you have to use it to become a number one first class writer. You got to pick up all these things. Even articles, when you are reading, is why they use it. Well, is that wrong? Because that's why I taught you all these things: past perfect, future perfect, all these things. Right. So when you are reading it, you got to pick up, and you should, because I think say if you are playing cricket, right? If the teacher is or the coach is telling hit the ball, when the ball comes, you hit this one, right? So then you learn that if you hit, you can hit over the fielder. Right. So he is giving the instruction. Same thing with English, right? So what situation you can use this past perfect here, exactly given the example. So that's why sort of, I'm going through this one, because I'm trying to relate your, just past perfect. I'm relating that sentences as well. This is a real situation, how you write that sort of thing, if you are good at, so you can become an editor in the newspaper, right? So this is sort of first class sort of thing I'm teaching you, right? So once you understand, once you following what I'm saying, so you can be a real number one person, no doubt. Okay, go to next paragraph. Whose turn is now?
My turn.
Your turn?
Yes,
okay.
sir.
The operator asked the boy his mother's age, right? If they are in a house or apartment. These are the questions. Mother's age, if they are in a house or apartment. So this is a real situation. I mean, I know in Sydney, a lot of times that happens, because I'm bringing this one up to understand if emergency people, what they ask. And if you are in Sydney or in Australia, this is what they ask. They ask, okay, where are you? Okay, mother. So he said, mother is sick, right? What's her age? Because, if her age is, say, 30, it's different from 60, right? Or 80, because that's how they respond, right? for 80 people, they respond differently, 60 people, 40, 30 people, right? So that's the important question they are asking. They try to get, right? It's called precise sort of information, essential information, right? Or important information. Mother's age, then in a house or apartment, and if his mom is lying on her back or front on her front bed, on her tummy, right? Yeah. Right, Amma. So just tell me what do you mean by this? In your words. Very simple.
The operator gets some information from the boy.
Yeah.
About where they live and how his mom's condition and what's her age.
Right. Okay. Good, Amma. Very good. Very good. So, yeah, you sort of, really, the answer was pretty good. 100 out of 100. Okay. So the next paragraph is, little boy answers all the questions calmly, and in return, 34 years, it is a house. She is on her front because, in fact, she hasn't managed to get up. So I just want to say on her front mean basically on her tummy. Earlier I said I was thinking that house, she was sort of front of the house, right? But this is in this case because I'm relating previous paragraph and this one. This is basically she was on her tummy there. Okay, who is next? I think Kanachalnima or
Yes, sir.
Okay, so yeah, in your words, Amma.
So the boy replied all the questions asked by the responder about his mother and the situation.
Right. Okay. And so, what do you mean by intern?
Sorry, sir.
So there is one calmly and intern. What is the meaning of intern? I'm just asking intern. What is intern?
Intern means like replies the question or answer.
Yeah. So she's asking the question. So intern means that other person is giving the answer. That's the intern, right? Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you. The next one, the operator then asks the boy to turn her over, and if she responds, when he calls, he instructs the boy to speak loudly in her ear. Still no answer. And then once she is on her back, to feel if air is coming out of her nose. So whose turn is now?
It's me, sir.
Okay, Santosh.
The operator instructs the boys to check about the consciousness of his mother, whether she's fainted or unconscious, and about the condition of her breathing.
Right. So how about what he said, he is responding, right?
Yes, sir.
So he is responding that she doesn't respond, and right, and still even he is telling that there is no answer, right? Because he is loudly speaking to her, and still no answer, right? So these are the things they will ask you, and he has to say, that's why intern. So he has to say to that operator, right? So this is the conversation between operator and the boy. And so you missed one is turn over, rolling, right? Rolling her mother out and on her back, because she was on the front tummy, right? Because what happened is you can't check it out if someone is on. Especially there is a good chance that their nose maybe gets blocked, because you are pressing the nose like this, right? So that's why they will ask you to turn the person over on the person's side. Yeah, so clearly you can breathe, and if there is any vomiting, you don't know vomiting. That's why they say on side. So whatever vomit, sort of it goes down. But if you are on the on her back, okay. And she's on her to feel if air is coming out. Yeah. Normally they ask not to. No, because if someone is vomiting, they take the vomit inside again. So here they don't allow people to be on their back. Okay, but yeah, so I just go by this one. Yes, there is. So boy's answer is yes. There is air coming from her nose. So next paragraph is the operator continues to engage the boy whose name was not revealed. Okay, who is next?
My turn, sir.
Okay, what's the meaning of reveal? Reveal. Can you say?
The boy's name, whose name he didn't know.
Revealing means sorry?
Haven't tell.
Yeah, reveal means sort of, they don't disclose. Disclose means they don't tell because they don't want to say about the boy's name. So most of the time they try, especially in the paper, mother's name, unless court says, you release the names, or unless you give the consent, they give them. Because in Western world, they can't. That's called privacy, your name and your place and all the places you can give because they have to come, ambulance, they have to send the ambulance to. But the name, even age also, because that they want to find out, how they respond. So names are not disclosed. Disclose and reveal. Disclosing reveal is same meaning. Okay, Ma. So can you put in your words? Oh, I haven't finished. The operator continues to engage the boy. Right? What do you mean by in this situation, engage the boy? Continues to engage the boy.
To keep him active.
Yeah, engage mean Mama. Tamil சொல்றேன்னா continues to engage தொடர்ந்து கதைச்சு கொண்டிருக்கிறத engage பண்ணிக்கொண்டிருக்கிறது in the situation, right? Continues to talk to that person, engage. So it's a nice word sort of normally we use, right? Engage mean or உங்களோட நான் engage பண்ணிக்கொண்டு I mean engaging at the moment and உங்களோட கதைச்சு கொண்டிருக்கிறேன், right? It's a similar situation. Whose name was not revealed learns he is 7.5, right? And that he is with his little sister who is 4.5. The operator asks the boy to turn his mom on her side so she can continue to sleep, right? So tell me in your words that paragraph.
The operator keeps talking to the boy, and he know that the boy is 7.5 years old. He lives with his little sister, and he told the boy to turn his mom on her side so she can. It's easy to him to help her.
Yeah, so that she can, sleep because they don't want to disturb her, right? So continue to sleep mean, let her sleep. Okay. So here, so another thing is sort of they don't know the age, right? Learns mean they assume, it's 7.5. So because the reporter is reporting about that incident, right? So they might have, heard about it, but you can't say they then operator knows the age, and you can't say that. Learns mean sort of, they think, assumption could be and so on, right? That's good, Amma. Thank you. That operator, do you think you can do that? That's done. What do you mean by that's done? Tanashanli, Amma?
He already finished the instructions that
yeah. This is a sort of colloquial, like, spoken English. We use that's done, right? Okay. He is gone. Normally we don't say that, in grammatical sense, you can't say he's gone, but in spoken English, we say he's gone. But grammatically, it is he has gone, right? It's same thing that is done, right? Whatever the instruction, so grammatically, he should have said, I have done everything, or it has been done, right? It has been done, okay? Right, so, so this, I'm going to read this out. The boy is then instructed to get a neighbor to whom he clearly explained the situation, passing the phone on. A woman comes to check. The operator asks her to verify the mother is unconscious and breathing, and asking that the woman stays with them. Tells her emergency services are coming. Tell in your words, someone.
The operator asked the boy to bring a neighbor, and the neighbor checked his mother, and the operator asked the neighbor to, the neighbor checked if his mother is unconscious and breathing. Then the emergency service sent help for them.
Okay. So what do you mean by passing the phone on?
So the boy gives the phone to the neighbor to talk with her.
Yeah. So that is very important, so because he explains the situation, and he passes on that. But here, this is the very important here, but I haven't. I told you, but here, say that passing the phone, right? So if the situation about sort of, it's everything is happening, this boy is doing. So when you put comma, so you had to put that's called ing verb to that's called connecting the another sentence. When you are connecting the another sentence, you have to put ing or ed, right? Depending if it is like a third person or third thing or something, then you have to use it. But I'll sort of teach you later on. But you just observe, right? Because when you look at to whom, he clearly explained the situation. That is one, to whom, right? He clearly explains the situation. That is one sentence. The first sentence, right? The boy is then instructed to get a neighbor, because this is how I'd like to sort of, focus on this one, how you construct the sentence, right? Not only sentence, the paragraph. Situation, right? So second sentence is to whom he clearly explained the situation. Then third sentence, this is connecting the another sentence, then passing. So he passes the phone on, right? This sort of, if it is a separate standalone sentence, you can put he passes or he passed the phone on, because that happened, right? Passed, right? But in this case, because you are joining with the other sentence, so you put passing the phone on, right? And you had to put comma there in between, because you are separating, you are telling this is another sentence, but you are connecting with the other, right? Say this, if you can write like this, first class, okay? So that is because that information, when you in your words, own words, you didn't say that, because that information is, because you had to tell everything precisely or concisely, right? When I'm asking, woman comes to come to check, the operator asks it, come to check, one sentence. The operator asks her to verify. What do you mean by verify?
Yes, sir.
What's the meaning of verify?
Verify, to check, or
yeah, verify means it's sort of, in English we call it verify, mean to make sure this is this or that, this verify, right? Can't be this or that. Verify. So whether she is unconscious, right? So தமிழ்ல சொல்ல போன வெரிஃபைன்னா சரியான உண்மையை அறியறதான் வெரிஃபை. சரியான உண்மையை அறியறது verify. So mother is unconscious or breathing, asking that woman stays with them. Oh, then, and see this, say the operator asks, yeah? That's the sentence. Ask her to verify the mother is unconscious and breathing. Mother is unconscious and she is breathing, right? Say, and you don't need to put is again, just add that. And when you are, and just, that's a breathing is, basically it's a noun, right? Then they put and asking, right? So when you look at this one is another sentence, rather than put asking that the woman stays with them. When you put that, then you can put basically, that simple present or past, you can put when you put that. Right? Woman stays with them, tells her, say, because of that. If you don't put that, then you have to again put ing. Okay. So stays with them, tells her emergency services are coming. Okay, the next paragraph, 2 minutes. Santosh, I'm going to read this one. Emergency Services Department posted edited audio of the conversation on social media this week under the hashtag good job, to congratulate him and ask people to teach their children how to react in such situation. So can you tell me in your words?
The Emergency Services Department has acknowledged the boy's action through social media and
acknowledge, or they sort of posted.
Yes, sir.
Posted. Yeah, posted means sort of, it's not acknowledging. Posted means it's sort of, uploaded.
Okay, sir.
Uploaded that sort of audio. Upload, upload. Yeah. Download and upload, right? You know the meaning, right? Upload and, yeah, okay, yeah. Edited, so, of the conversation on social media. Okay, yeah. Then
the Emergency Services Department posted the conversation of the boy, which he reacted calmly, and to ask other people to teach their children or others to be calm and how to act in such situations, sir.
Right. So you haven't talk about this hashtag, right? Do you know anything about a hashtag?
No, sir.
Yeah, these days, sort of, if you want to put something, for public, you have to put hashtag and say that under that thing, people can make some comments. That's what hashtag is all about, right? So this hashtag, good job. The hashtag, 2 lines vertical and then horizontal 2 lines. That's called hashtag, right? Hashtag, good job. So that's like a topic. Good job topic, to congratulate him and ask people to teach their children how to write. Under this one, they sort of, so anyone can sort of, create that hashtag and write. So if you can, I'll sort of, send you another topic and a few other. I would like to, so can you focus on the idioms? Have you heard about idioms?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So when you, especially in Australia, when you are talking to a lot of people, they say idioms, right? Say, for example, don't cut the corners, right? Don't cut the corners. Cut the corners and சரியான முறையில போகாமல் ஒரு பிழையான வழியில போய் அந்த முடிக்கிறத சொல்ற கட் கோனஸ். இப்ப சில பேர் காப்பி பண்ணி போடுறா எல்லாம் கட் கோனஸ். அது இட்ஸ் நாட் அக்செப்டபிள், ரைட்? ஸோ அது இடியம், டோன்ட் கட் த கோனர்ஸ், ரைட்? Last time also I put some of them. What is that? Low-lying fruit. Low-lying fruit. ஈஸியா எடுத்துக்கொள்ளலாம். உங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்ச மாமரம் அதுல இருக்கு, கீழே அடியில கிட்டத்தட்ட ஃப்ளோர்ல இருந்து அது சொல்றோம் லோ-லையிங் ஃப்ரூட் சொல்லி, ரைட்? அப்ப லோ-லையிங் ஃப்ரூட் உங்களுக்கு எடுக்கிறது ஈஸியா இருக்குன்னு தானே. அப்ப அதுக்கு நார்மலா யூஸ் பண்ற லோ-லையிங் ஃப்ரூட் சொல்லி, it is low-lying fruit, anyone can take and use it. And the idioms are. So next time I'm expecting you to give me example of when you are talking, you add those idioms in your sentences, right? That's a really good one, because when you talk in the community, when you say idioms, it attracts other people, as well as they think that you're really good at English. You can show your talent, basically, right? Okay. So I think time is up. All right.
Okay.
See you, Kulel.
Thanks, sir.
Bye.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very
Yes, sir.
much.
Bye,
Take
sir.
time.